Five things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Shea Automotive. Get your vehicle ready for old man winter with Shea Automotive Service Special. 10% off any major auto repair, free battery check before Jack Frost puts the deep freeze on it, and $10 off any recommended maintenance. Shea Automotive, Corona Road, Flint. Tuscola man being charged in connection with the death of his one-year-old child. Report saying that 26-year-old Brian Ellswick faces murder and child abuse charges after the victim was found unresponsive and displaying signs of abuse when first responders answered the call last Friday at a home in Ellington Township. A pilot survived the crash of a small plane yesterday in Livingston County. According to MLive, the plane crashed into a tree on a private airfield near Brighton and 8 Mile Road in Green Oak Township. Gust of wind interrupted the 72-year-old pilot's attempt to land the aircraft, tilted it, and forced the wing to clip a tree, sending the aircraft cartwheeling into the branches. They're going to honor the three victims of the Michigan State University shootings that happened 1 year ago today with a series of events in East Lansing today. A year ago, a gunman walked into campus, fatally shot Ariel Anderson, Brian Frazier, and Alexandria Verner. Governor Whitmer is ordering U.S. flags statewide lowered to half-staff today for those victims. Well, our teams are road warriors tonight. The Red Wings are skating tonight in Edmonton. Michigan is playing basketball in the Big Ten at Illinois tonight. Pistons face the Lakers out in L.A. And to cap this one off, were you watching on Sunday night? Super Bowl 58 turned out to be the most watched television event in U.S. history. Preliminary Nielsen figures showing 123.4 million viewers across CBS, Univision, and streaming platforms. That's five things you should know from 103.9 The Fox.
Il 13 di februari, World Radio Day.
All we hear is radio.
How about a little radio?
February 13th is World Radio Day.
Radio. World Radio Day.
Don't change my radio station.
Radio transmission. From the Hurley Medical Center studio, this is the Foxhole Morning Show.
Flint's Classic Rock Authority.
103.9. The Fox. Il 13 di februari.
Okay, hold on. Pardon me, guys. I'm going to switch you over. I'm sitting here in landscape platform, and I'm seeing that comments don't come in that way. It had been suggested that I do it this way in landscape, but it turns out we can't. So here we go. We're going to turn you that way. Pardon me. And let's just reposition you for a second here. Let me move this over like that. All right. There we go. Now we'll set it up. How about that? That's better. That's better. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to Tuesday. This is TikTok Tuesday. We are on the radio, live from Flint, Michigan, USA. It's 103.9 The Fox, classic rock radio for Flint and surrounding areas. And this is the town with the formerly crappy water. Now I can see. Now I can see that I'm supposed to see. Oh, man. Right away, I'm starting with tough news from Tina in New Jersey. Good morning. Jeter is very sick. Don't know if he'll make it. Really? Uh-oh. I see Jason is here, our world traveler. Sheila's here. Joan is here. Good morning to all of you. This I can see the comments a little bit easier now than I usually am able to do. When did this thing with Jeter start? Jeter is Tina's dog, for those who are just now joining us and are not aware of that. We have several people who are on, when we do our live streams all around the platform, starting with Facebook on Mondays. We're here on TikTok Tuesdays. We're going to start doing Twitter and X, the combo, tomorrow, Instagram Thursday, Twitch Friday. But some people are with us all the time, and when they get with us a lot of the time, we get to find out rather quickly what they're doing. And South Jersey, Keith Allen would like to know if you're South Jersey or North, Tina. Oh, I'm sorry, not Keith. It's Kathy. Kathy, got to take a look and see here. I almost was able to see that comment. Looking for another vet. Is there some type of emergency clinic that's around your area? I had to do that with one of my dogs on oddly enough, Christmas Day 9 years ago, back in 2K14. The dog I had at that time, Koa, had come down with a major problem, and it happened to be Christmas Day, and that my vet was also off. So we did have operating in our area in Flint an emergency veterinary clinic, and so I ended up spending 5 hours there on Christmas Day with him, getting that taken care of. You're in South. Okay, Kathy, she's in South Jersey. They want more money than you have. Okay, there's another thing that it's called care credit. Have you ever heard of that? Because that's how I got through the thing with Koa. I also was in that situation with a financial crunch because based on what he had and what he needed to have done, as it turned out. And so they pointed me in the direction of that. We opened an account like right on the spot, and he was able to get that taken care of, and I've used it since then. Which is important when you have animals and you never know what's going to happen with them. Gabriel's here. Good morning. Gabriel, Z-Man is here. Let's see if Johnny and Steph are the hosts of the show. Johnny Burke, Steph Barber. We will hear them in a moment. But before that, they're going to play music. So, we move on. Let's see. Toto's here. Not the whole band, but Toto. Also Mr. K and Kyler. Hi to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us on this, what is it, Tuesday? It is Fat Tuesday. Day before Lent. And in the case of Michigan, we celebrated with a thing called punchkis, which are basically hugely popular jelly donuts that are more like basically pure lard. They're about 1,200 calories a piece, but boy, they're popular. People eat them. Bromley and Annette, hi to you both. JP3 and Kathy, hello to you also. This is the 13th of February. We are 35 days away from spring. Spring opens officially 5 weeks from tonight, 10:06 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be here. I'm seeing all kinds of snow in Boston right now where Rob the weather stud is. And I think I saw Ginger also earlier. She's also... The Northeast is getting hammered today. Boston, New York, Connecticut, all those areas. In fact, I wonder, Tina, are you getting snow where you are right now? You never go. I see. All right. Hello, Dylan. Hello, DJ. DJ Rowe. 24 degrees Fahrenheit. We know that on TikTok a lot of times we have people joining us from all around the world, not just here in the U.S., so we'll make sure that we specify that we deal in Fahrenheit temperature over here. I will also show you, since we're talking about a dog in the case of Jeter, I want to show you another dog, kind of get you off to a smiley start to this Tuesday morning for those who are in position to be able to do that. I've got Odie the Pomeranian who lives in Missoula, Montana. And this is Odie. I want to introduce you to the Pomeranian who, as you can see, is ready for Mardi Gras, which is in progress. And all beaded up, as you can see. That's Odie. All right. A lot of rain in Jersey right now. Lots of it. This is supposed to be a kind of a major nor'easter going through the area, and we were just discussing that on the news earlier this morning, and probably take it up again next time around, because I do news and traffic for those who are just joining us and don't know why I'm here chatting with you on a radio show. I'm the news guy, and I also am in my home studio, several miles to the north of the main studio, which is in Flint, Michigan, across from the Genesee Valley Mall. Johnny Burke and Steph Barber will join you in a moment from there. We chat with you during the music and the commercials. Mel, good evening. And Alex Elias and JJ. And also H. Combe and Foosball. We have a lot of people who come here who normally wouldn't, only because TikTok chases them over here. That's kind of the new policy TikTok has. Let's send people around as they scroll mindlessly through their feed to a lot of live streams to find places that you might not have seen otherwise, including this one, this radio show with Johnny.
A revisit of some snow here. I thought winter was over.
Yeah.
Nobody should be saying that, obviously, but we do tend to do that.
Hello, Laura and Nestor and Dustin.
Dry up and there's no snow left on the ground. We go, oh, okay, it's over.
Yep, let's get the bikes out. Let's go.
By the way, Revolution the Beatles there. Paul McCartney was at the Super Bowl. He was on the list of people that showed up at the Super Bowl. Were hanging out there.
It is World Radio Day, as we started to tell you that you're going into this show. There are over 15,000 radio stations. When I got in this business, there were only like 8,000.
I know, isn't that something?
It's crazy. It's according to people in the survey, the 11th most important invention of all time.
Radio.
Yeah, but if you ask our owners, it's the first most important invention of all time. And cars didn't get radios until the 30s.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't have the cars. I actually saw an old car, I'm not making this up, that had a record player in it. I'm not making it up, in an old car. It was like a 1920s, 30s.
Chris here, good morning.
Of some sort. And it had a little record player in it.
Well, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah. Radio is the top little thing people look forward to, according to 1 in 5 people. Hearing your favorite song played ranked 5th on a list of nice things that can happen on any given day.
See, radio's still pretty popular.
Yeah, number 1 was finding cash. Hard to compete with that. But hearing your favorite song played is 5th on a list of the nice things that can happen to you on any given day. That's a kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, it's very powerful, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, 9% of people, though, said they wish we'd play more commercials. That's insulting.
What?
You're insulting me. And you're insulting AC/DC and the Beatles.
I've never heard anybody ask for more
They
commercials.
want more commercials. Well, you know, there was a survey one time that said after a survey...
Rob, I was asking, whatever happened to you after you failed Trolling 101?
Commercially, by listening to radio commercials. Now, I swear that was put out by the Radio Advertising Bureau, but I have no idea if that's true or not. You know, the whole term broadcasting is actually a farm term. That's where it came from.
Broadcasting seat?
Yeah, that's where the whole term came from. And
I had no idea.
Yeah. So anyway, a third of dog owners have used the radio to keep their dog company when they were gone. I know someone that used to do that, and on our show would say hi to her dog every day.
Aw.
So that the dog would hear it. So, happy World Radio Day.
Happy World Radio Day.
Where's our World Radio Day presents, Steph?
Where's our Punchkis?
Yeah, we should have Punchkis on
Yeah.
World Radio Day on Punchki Day, because today is also Shrove Tuesday and Punchki Day, as people like to call it, and that means you're supposed to eat really heavily lard-laden donuts today.
Yes, please.
All right, so have that.
Fry them in grease and stuff them with something sweet.
That's the idea. It's 7:12.
I'm telling you, that's the thing about this day. Fat Tuesday, everybody kind of loads up, getting ready to give something up starting tomorrow for, 40 days you do that? But these punchkis, which are kind of a regional thing, encountered somebody, in fact, over the weekend who used to live in Michigan, who left 25 years ago, more, I think, and is back for a visit, or was, over the weekend, and wasn't aware of punchkis. And how the hell you live in Michigan and not be aware of that was crazy. But that is the big popular thing here. It's basically jelly donuts, and you can find them like anywhere. Bakeries are just pumping them out by the millions today. Other stores carry them all boxed up. Usually back in the days when I used to be in radio stations every single day rather than my home studio, used to find those all the time. There used to be boxes full of them in our kitchen or wherever the food was kept. And usually people would get a couple of them, figuring, okay, this is the only time we're going to have these all year long. And that's true. When you find out that they're like 1,200 calories a piece, that's the reason why you only have them like once a year. Hello, Kevin O. Good to see you. We're going to take care of the traffic in just a second here. As long as they were talking about the Super Bowl, I guess we can do that too, because as it turns out, according to the Nielsen ratings, and those are the officials, that the Nielsen company is the one that tracks everybody who watches TV in any form anymore. It's not just regular TV, but streaming and that. And over 123 million people watched the Super Bowl this past Sunday. No other program in U.S. history has ever gotten that kind of viewership, ever. I was watching most of it. Thanks very much to those of you who have been nice enough to share us to the rest of your friends. Let them know that there's something going on the radio right now, and it's transmitting over on TikTok. It's spilled over. Something's happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a guy with a mic over there telling me I gotta beware.
From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And while you're making your donation, please be sure to sign up to win great prizes. It's
First time Mel Mel has ever watched the Super Bowl. Really? What did you think? A lot of people who don't live in the U.S. are a little, I know, they're a little bit perplexed at the idea that we call this football. We don't use our feet much. Richfield Township is our latest crash site. We have a crash that's reported on Gale Road. It's north of Richfield Road. And in Flushing, the 3500 block, or make it 300 block of Seymour Road. That's just only 3 letters over there. 300 block of Seymour Road, that's a crash there. And the freeways right now are fine. No reports of any crashes or unusual delays. But if you're spotting one, let us know. 810-230-WRSR, the number. 810-230-9777, the number. And whenever you need Vehicle City traffic information, all the time, anytime, you get it at classicfox.com/traffic. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
Traffic, a service of the Shea Automotive Group. Get your vehicle ready for winter with the Shea Automotive Service Special. 10% off any major auto repair, free battery check, and $10 off any recommended maintenance. Shea Automotive, Corona Road in Flint.
Hey, somebody polled 2,000 people and asked if they'd rather be taken care of or just be left alone when they're sick.
Yes.
53% of women say, leave me alone.
Yeah.
47% of men said the same thing, but that means that men are bigger babies than women is what they've come to.
Well, we knew that already.
Guys were also more likely to want their mommy when they're feeling unwell, according to this. 58% wish their mom could still take care of them when they're sick.
Ma.
43% think she'd take better care of them than their significant other does. So, yeah, we lose out. Guys are also more prone to let people know they're sick, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
29% of guys have posted an I'm sick photo on social media, and only 20% of women have done that. And a lot of women are not shocked by this. 80% in the poll said they think they handle being sick.
Before your commute, get the latest Vehicle City traffic anytime.
That's not what I was talking.
It's so rude.
I was talking. Anyway, they say they handle. The song went away. Is what happened there. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, they say that they handle it better than men do, and 80% in the poll said that they would be the better sick person to be with, and you wouldn't want to be with their guy. That's what they said. I'm not a big baby when I'm sick.
I bet you are. I'll bet you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes. So you loved it, Mel, but you were having issues, trying to figure out what's going on if you've never watched an American football game before. Can be a little bit daunting. I'll say that. I know I've run into lots of people who have run into that same problem. It took me a while when I was a kid to figure out what was going on in some areas and some parts. And the game when I was a kid watching it, when I first got exposed to it, was a lot different, played a lot different. There wasn't nearly as much passing in the game as there is now. There's a lot more just hand the ball to a guy and let him run through the line. There was a lot more of that going on. It's a little more simple than it is now. But now it's all about passing and different kinds of tackling, vicious tackling. And then you get weird stuff that happens. Like in this past weekend Super Bowl, there was a guy, Trey Greenlaw, plays for the San Francisco 49ers, which of course was one of the teams, the losing team in this case, in the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Trey Greenlaw is on the sidelines, plays defense. He plays a position called linebacker. He is on the sidelines, and he's getting ready to run back into the game. And as he starts to just trot back on the field from the sidelines, all of a sudden he just winces in pain and falls down on the ground. He blew out his ACL. No, he didn't. He blew out his Achilles, the heel, in his foot. That's a big injury for an athlete. They take months and months to recover from something like that. And that's what happened to him. He had no player hitting him. He wasn't anywhere near an opponent. He just starts to run on the field, and all of a sudden, his Achilles goes, and he just falls right to the ground. And that's it. And that's the end of his game. It might even be the end of a lot of his next season, because it'll take that long for him to recuperate. He may not be able to be ready in time for the start of next season, because this injury is such a difficult one to recover from for an athlete. So, Jay, and then the overtime. Here's the thing about that, Mel. There were some players on the 49ers who, after the game, said they didn't realize that the playoff overtime rules were a little different than they were during the regular season. The referee explained that to the captains before the toss of the coin to see who was going to get the ball first in the overtime, but some of the players were a little unaware of the fact that the overtime rules were tweaked just a bit from what they had followed during the regular season. ACL is very painful. That's correct, Mel. That wasn't, I misspoke when I said ACL. That's in the knee. His Achilles, which is in the heel, of course, is what was injured. And that was just, it is very difficult to recover from that. But what was different? The one tweak that was different from the regular season was that the first team that gets the ball in the overtime, if they score a touchdown on the first time that they've gotten the ball and they score right away the touchdown, that's the end of the game. But if they kick a field goal as points that they get, then the other team gets the ball. The only time the other team doesn't get the ball and both teams have an equal opportunity to possess it and score is if the team that initially got the ball in the overtime scored a touchdown. Well, that's no longer the case. In the playoffs, that wasn't the case. Even if they scored a touchdown, the other team would still get the ball. The 49ers, some of the players said, we didn't realize that.
$3 in presidential portraits. They could be Washington's, Lincoln's, any combination, but we'll have $103. You guys, this is caller number 2. Caller number 1, I just hung up on. Caller number 3, number 4, number 5. You are caller number 6. You're number 7. You are caller number 8. So sorry, I apologize. I wish I could have given it to you, but you'll be trying again later today. Steve Driver and of course Jeremy Fennick giving you that chance. But every time we get a ninth caller, we give them $103 and then the chance to win the grand prize drawing on President's Day itself, which is Monday here on the Foxhole Morning Show. Joe Streeter's going to stop by and he'll draw one of you out and give away another $1,000 to you. So you'll have $1,103. And I guess, yeah.
90 cents?
I don't know how they're working that, but yeah, they'll have something like that for one winner. Here is another qualifier, 103.9 The Fox. Hello out there.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, who's this?
This is Lloyd.
Lloyd, guess what?
Guess what? I won.
You're the ninth caller.
Woohoo!
That makes you a wiener. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, we've got, you got $103 in presidential portraits from us. They could be, it could be 103 George Washingtons or some combination thereof. We'll give you that, and you are now registered for the grand prize drawing, which will happen Monday morning here on the Foxhole Morning Show, when Joe Streeter from Streeter Brothers Concrete Contractors of Burton stops by to give us the $1,000 and draw the winning name. So stand by, and we'll get all your information from you here and tell you how you get your money. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, hold the line. What are you going to buy Steph for $103?
Everybody's wanting a beer?
Yeah, an expensive beer. Yeah, hold on. We'll get with you in just a moment.
So I'm a cheap date. I'll put it out there. I'm a cheap date.
Don't advertise. My goodness gracious. Your phone's going to be ringing off the hook. 7:23. February is National Heart Month.
Okay, here's the other question I have for you, Mel, and anybody else who was watching the Super Bowl. Did you see too much, just enough, or not enough Taylor Swift in that game? Good morning, Randall. Randall Wilfs, good to see you. If you were watching the Super Bowl for any length of time, did you see too much, just enough, or not enough Taylor Swift in that game? Mel said not enough of Taylor. See? One of the things that the NFL is incredibly ecstatic about is the fact that she was at that game and helped juice the crowd to the point where, as I mentioned in the news, this was the most watched TV program, not just football game, but TV program, period, in the history of U.S. television. And a lot of that had to do with Taylor Swift's appearance and the fact that she was able, through her Swifties, be able to rustle up enough interest in watching the football game. People are still complaining she was shown too much. The thing is, she's shown very, very little. In terms of the amount of time she's on, for the total amount of time that the game is played, she got very little exposure. It just happened to be a few seconds here, a few seconds there. Tina thought it was just enough. Now, Mel says Taylor was the main reason you watched. Okay, yeah, all right. Well, the thing that she had a booth full of expensive people. What was it? Blake Lively was there, and this Ice, whatever her name is, Ice Frigid, or I don't know. And then the Kelsey family with it. Travis Kelsey, the player for the Kansas City Chiefs. His brother Jason, who also plays in the NFL, was there. His wife was there. Their parents were there. The Swift's parents were there. Oh, and by the way, Taylor Swift's parents, if they didn't see it happen live, I'm sure saw enough clips afterward or were told enough about this time on the sidelines when her boyfriend, Taylor's boyfriend, Travis Kelsey of the Kansas City Chiefs, went absolutely nuclear on the head coach. Ran into him, got into his face, screamed into his face, pushed him, grabbed his arm, knocked him over. That was an interesting few moments, which was totally underplayed on the broadcast, but is now starting to bubble up a little bit later, now that the euphoria of the victory is all over with. Amber thinks that was too much of Taylor. And I'm sure that Taylor's parents were watching, or at least heard about, their daughter's boyfriend exploding on the sidelines like that. Now, Taylor Swift is not only popular, but she's extremely smart, very intelligent. She's going to do what she wants to do, no matter what anybody says. But that's going to be something she may want to watch. Is that how he always reacts when he gets angry? Even with a guy who's probably twice his weight and his boss. Is that how he reacts to something? He was very upset. There you go, too much Taylor, someone said. He was very frustrated. But that's not how you manifest your frustration. In fact, before the incident with the coach, he threw his helmet on the sideline. That's the second time in the last maybe 5 weeks he's done that, where he goes to the sideline and just fires his helmet down out of sheer anger. The first time he did it, he went on his brother's podcast to talk about how embarrassed he was for having done it, and he apologized to people, and that's fine, except he not only, when it came up again, didn't refrain from doing it, he ratcheted up, he leveled up, he did worse. He was more demonstrative this time. He had one of his teammates have to grab him and pull him away from the coach at that point, as you might have seen. This is interesting.
Downtown. This is Flint 103.9, the Fox. 25 degrees heading up to 35 under partly cloudy skies. There'll be a chance of flurries this morning, though. Tonight, partly cloudy down to 19. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 35. Tomorrow night, chance for snow showers after about 1 o'clock in the morning. And then Thursday, we could see as much as 3 inches under breezy, snowy conditions Thursday. Yeah, we get a brief revisit of winter. Right now, 25 at 103.9 The Fox.
Yeah. There's a lot of anxiety. There's tension. Every football game has that. It's a very emotional game, and all the players are kind of revved up to a certain emotional level when they're playing it. But they also don't get in the face of the coach during the game, particularly the head coach. I've seen occasionally a little battle with an assistant coach, but not a head coach. You don't go after your boss that way. A couple of guys tweeted who are members of the NFL as players elsewhere, not on that team, but I saw one particular tweet saying, if I'd have done that, I'd have been kicked out of the league. And he's probably right. But the thing is, it's Travis Kelsey, who happens to be the best player, arguably, at his position on, arguably, the best team in the NFL that just won the Super Bowl. And so when you win, everything is fine, and everything is excused, and everything goes away with time. But is the Chiefs parade I'm not sure. It might be. Hello there, Cindy. Good morning. Good to see you, and thanks for those who are following us. Brand new followers we're picking up here through our hanging out. By the way, we do this virtually every day now, but we're just not in the same place. We're not on TikTok every day except Tuesday. The location tomorrow would be Twitter, X. We found out we can actually use a way to get in there and be able to do free chat without having to level up to the premium that they'd like you to do. And that's kind of where this whole thing started, was on Twitter, which in one form used to be known as Periscope, and that's where we started 8 years ago doing this live streaming. And so we've kind of moved it around the dial. We start on Facebook on Mondays. We go to TikTok on Tuesdays. We're on Twitter, X, on Wednesdays now. Instagram Thursdays. HalMoss_news is my Instagram page. If you follow that, then you're notified when we go live. And on Fridays, we are on basically Twitch. So hopefully you can join us. Some people are able to get with us all the time, all around the entire Periscope world, live stream world. But if you can only join us on TikTok on Tuesdays, that's cool too. We appreciate it. Anytime you can get in here with us, one of the reasons we're doing it that way is so that it gives people that only use one or two of the platforms a chance to hang with us, because there's a lot of crazy people that come here on a regular basis. They aren't just on the one platform. They go around with us, and they're with us all the time. They're kind of like the Grateful Dead. They're like the what do they call those deadheads that the Grateful Dead used to have on their tours? They were never a real popular band when it came to record sales, but boy, were they great on touring. People followed them everywhere. I'm telling you, jeez, it's crazy. So what's going on with you? It's, as I said, Fat Tuesday here, and that means that here, at least in Michigan, everybody's going to be scarfing down these jelly donuts that are called punchkis, kind of originated in the Polish community. We have a heavily Polish city in Michigan called Hamtramck, just outside of Detroit, and that's kind of where things really got going. That's where the juice for that kind of a celebration happened. And while some people around the country are celebrating Mardi Gras, our people here in Michigan are celebrating by scarfing down punchkis. And then tomorrow you try to give something up if you can. And I would ask you then, if you can give something else up, what would you be giving up? What would you be giving up if you could be doing that tomorrow? I don't know. I don't typically do that. I go without enough as it is now. To have to give up even more would be hard. All right, let's see what's going on there with Johnny and Steph on the air.
Classic Rock. 103.9 The Fox. You got Van Halen there. It's 7:32. Eddie on just riffing on the guitar there. One of my favorites. 7:32 here in the Foxhole. Johnny and Steph. The best commercial of Super Bowl 58 now is generally agreed upon. It's Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, and Matt Damon. That's what everybody says now. Was the best. I got to be honest with you. I only saw part of that. I need to go watch that. It's when Ben Affleck wants to show Jennifer Lopez what he can do in music, and he recruits Matt Damon and Tom Brady for a boy band called the Dung Kings.
Okay.
So Jack Harlow is in it too, and Duncan is going to be releasing a Dung Kings menu today, along with merch to go along with that.
Of course.
As a result of it being the best commercial, they say, of Super Bowl 58. And apparently Beyonce doing that ad for Verizon came in second. Let me see. Duolingo wants to remind everybody to do their
Good morning, Eyes Plus.
Butts. Their owl mascot's butt burst into another small owl for some reason. What is that? Duolingo was the third best commercial. None of that makes any sense to me. Did anything that I just read there to you make any sense?
No, not to me either.
I have no idea. But anyway, I do like the Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, what I saw, but I need to watch the whole thing, though. It's one of those longer commercials, apparently. So check it out. Dun King's menu today at Dunkin'. And they didn't pay for that, so somebody sent them a bill.
Yeah.
It's 7:33 here in the Foxhole. Coming up just around the corner, Steph's Fox Flashback. And you're going to get choice surprises today, right?
Yeah, we're going to give you the choice between a gift certificate to enjoy some great food at Mario's Restaurant, right there on Benton Road, Mario's Restaurant Pizzeria, or a pair of tickets to see Norm Stahls doing his last show in Flint. That is February 24th at the Film Capitol Theater.
It's his retirement tour.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So you've got your choice between those two.
Yeah, and by the way, Norm will be there on February 24th at 7:30 at the Film Capitol, as you mentioned. You can get tickets at FlintCityComedyFest.com. His special guest will be Tim Finkel, a TED presenter and creator of Laughs for Wishes, and Tam White from the NBC Universal Breakout Comedy Fest. She is also the creator and host of Hip Prov. And Norm says you've got to see that to believe it. It's pretty hilarious. So.
I'm wondering what that's all about. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be a lot
Norm is hilarious.
Norm is a stitch. Who were we just talking? I was just talking to the owner of the radio station, Mr. Big, the other day.
Yeah.
Earlier this morning. And he was saying he saw Norm 30 years ago, and he never forgets that comedy routine. He said it was the most hilarious thing he'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Norm Stahls is a champ, man. And his last chance to entertain you here in Flint is coming up on the 24th, and your chance to win those tickets just around the corner with Steph. Hey, also don't forget, sleeping next level should be a goal of yours.
Well, he's going to talk now about a form of sleep that he's able to enjoy, this sleep number bed thing that he's been doing for quite some time. The This is also Valentine's Day Eve. Not only is it Lent tomorrow, but you also have Valentine's Day to look forward to. Anything in your plans for that? Anything at all in your plans for Valentine's Day, which coincides with Lent, so you have to think about maybe giving something up at the same time you may be giving something out to somebody else. Sleep number beds are the best, says Cindy. Well, if I might inquire, what is your sleep number? What's your number? He said his is 75, his wife's is 55, Johnny said. And I get 75 is the softer setting. I'm not even sure. He's been doing those. Yours is a 40. Oh, okay. All right. And that works that's good. That's good. That's nice that you can make those adjustments. Okay, Mr. Cindy is 45. Got it. Beautiful. That's terrific. Oh, lower is soft. So a 40, so you're like ultra soft. 75 would be like a board. All right? Tina just flat out doesn't give up anything anymore. Mel doesn't really do anything for Valentine's Day since you've been together for 20 years. What's the cutoff point? After you've been together for X number of years, when does it stop becoming anything special? Amber's, that's your sweet, Amber's is 50? Is that your sleep number? Oh, but your birthday is the 17th of February, so we're coming right down on it before the end of the week here. I gotcha. We're going to be celebrating Mel's birthday here later this week. Who's in charge of baking the cake?
If you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon.
All right, let's get to
Kroger, fresh for everyone.
get to the traffic. We had a couple of problems earlier that are no longer problems, so that's going to be a good thing. This will be a quick report. This will be a quick report. When you don't have the money, that's the cutoff point. When you don't have the money. That seems like a good, logical place to stop.
It's your first day alive. No, it's okay. I love
Could you then perhaps author like a message, just on a piece of paper, a heartfelt message, even if it doesn't include candy and flowers and some kind of expensive card? Morning to, well, that's City Boy Dan. That's our man, American Dan in West Virginia. Good morning to American Dan.
when you have a gambling problem.
Maybe the youngest daughter, she's 26. So that's when that was the cutoff point at 26?
This lottery ticket won't fill up your tank because when you're
Yeah,
feeling
all right.
problem,
Okay, your grocery total is
All right.
$19.
it's difficult putting food on the table, paying your bills, and keeping your life together.
You'll probably message each other. See, that's...
Free confidential help.
Once upon a time, you used to be able to write some kind of a nice, sweet, romantic note in cursive writing. Now, give me my cell phone. I got to tap out a message to him. I'll text him.
I'm a proud mom. I love this state more than anything.
Who might be
And I
making
want
the
my
cake?
kids to have the same opportunities close to
Oh, okay. That's okay. Your youngest daughter might be making the cake. Got it. He's in Western Australia. Okay, Mr. Mel's in Western Australia. That's how you do it. Text each other. I got you. Okay. That's right. I think we covered this the other day when you were around with us. He's there for a while. I mean, he coming home anytime soon? Or did he decide he's bought his own place in Western Australia?
My friends are here, my family's here, and if we can bring jobs back, my future will be...
Morning, Darlene and Greg.
Paid for by the Michigan
Yes.
Economic
Okay.
Gentlemen, going through a divorce is tough, but it's even more difficult when you're...
Carol, hi, good morning.
answering your questions or
Good
returning
day.
your phone calls
I shouldn't assume everybody is going through the morning hours. We are here in the United States, and this is the Eastern time zone. It's just starting to get light out here. Although it's getting lighter earlier, we're a little less than 3 weeks away from the time change, having to kick the clock forward an hour. So it's going to be darker earlier for a while and lighter later when we get to that point.
If you don't receive a response,
Oh, he shares a house with other people.
will not be charged for what we consider our delay.
Okay.
Additionally, as your
Think
case
I've got that.
progresses, you will receive copies of the documents and correspondence generated by your case, as well
well as a monthly itemized statement of the work we have performed. No mysteries, no surprises. We know how important communication between lawyer and client is to the success of your case. Be smart.
Let's
understand the law
see
before you
here.
take action. Call
Yeah, I want to talk about this
810-244-ADAM. That's 810
big money that can be won
244-2326,
here
or on the web at
in the next several days over the course of the time that you play these lottery games. We had a couple of Surface Street crashes earlier that we were dealing with, but those are now both cleaned up. 75's doing well, so is 475. 69, 23 also moving along without a crash or an unusual delay that's been reported at all. But if you have anything that you think is happening out there that we need to know about, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. Tell us about it. That's 810-230-9777 to report all those crashes and unusual delays. And 24/7, whenever that vehicle city traffic information is necessary for you, you can get it at classicfox.com/traffic. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
103.9 The Fox, hello out there.
Yeah, Johnny, I was going to make an appointment to go see my proctologist until I realized how big a pain in the butt it was going to be.
If he comes home too early, it won't be good for his health. Okay. Here in the States, we have two rather massive lottery games being played that involve most, not all, but most states. One is called Powerball, one is called Mega Millions. The Powerball jackpot, which was played last night and not won by anybody. The odds on winning the big prize are astronomical. You can win one of the smaller ones. A lot of more people are starting to do that. But the Powerball jackpot was not won last night, so it's going to grow to $285 million for tomorrow. That's the next drawing for it. Mega Millions is the drawing tonight. They draw that on Tuesdays and Fridays, the winning numbers, and the Mega Millions jackpot tonight is $425 million for those who want even more. His mouth gets himself in trouble. Mr. Mel has a mouth that occasionally goes astray. I see. Okay. 20 years, huh? Okay. There are other lottery games that are being played just within the state of Michigan, a lot of them. And some people feel that it's better to play those. The odds on winning those are a little bit better. Still not great, particularly to win a lot of money. Maybe not the Mega Millions numbers that you hear in the multi-state games, but you can still win a bunch. And some people like to use that as their retirement plan. We had a situation here in Michigan. By the way, Michigan, my highly priced weather map. This is kind of the lower peninsula of Michigan. Then we have over it, we have that little, looks like a rabbit. That's the upper peninsula, but I don't have a hand position to be able to do that. Anyway, won't even bother. This is the lower peninsula of Michigan. We're here. We're right here in Flint, okay? Detroit's down a little bit south of us. But we had a woman who lived in Michigan, elsewhere. She's over toward the western part of the state. She plays the lottery a lot, this one particular statewide game. She stopped in the gas station. It's a scratch-off game, quick one. You just get the card, scratch off. You can find out right away whether you won. You don't have to worry about the numbers being drawn on TV at night. Okay, Mr. Mel was born in England. So does he speak differently than you? Are your accents different? Because there's a definite difference between British and Australian accents. I've found. Game called Ghostbusters is a scratch-off game here in Michigan. Yes, he does speak. Okay, boy, you two must be fun to talk with. She goes in to buy a ticket like she does routinely, and the clerk was there. She starts talking to him about retirement. You know, they get old joke. Well, you know, I like to be able to fund my retirement with this. And clerk says, well, I hope this ticket helps you save for that retirement. So she scratches the ticket. She thinks that based on what she's looking at, she won $500. But when she took it to work and was getting ready to show it around and then get ready to cash it, her coworker said, you want to maybe look at that again. So she looks at it again and realizes it's not $500 she won, it's $500,000. It's $500,000 that she had won on that scratch-off lottery ticket. So she felt, first of all, she's going to have a heart attack, and then second of all, she realized the clerk was prophetic, saying, you know, I hope this helps you save for retirement. Clerk had no way of knowing, but hey, you know. Sheila's father-in-law was born there in Britain, England. Yeah. So there you are. It can happen. It can happen. I mean, you have to play to win, but a lot of people figure if I play, I'm just going to lose all my money. In most cases, that's true, but it doesn't always happen that way. Some people actually are able to save for retirement just because of that. It goes in line with the philosophy that I have. Tomorrow could be the day. I always say that. Tomorrow could be the day when everything, no matter how you're getting beaten up today, tomorrow could be the day it all changes and turns around for you. So always keep that in mind. She is very lucky.
The Foxhole Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox. Steph's Fox Flashback.
All of the still living members of this band's most recent lineup reunited in 1994 for a one-off tour after a fan left a voicemail message at Bob Weir's hotel in Chicago.
Yeah.
Bob Weir being from Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
And the phone call suggested that it would be cool if this band that we'll play in a minute toured with Grateful Dead. They did, and I'm very sure that it was cool. And it all started with the fans' phone call. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, it is.
So let's get into it from their 1967 album, their first. It's Traffic for Sherman now. It's Mr. Fantasy on the Fox.
As we were speaking about the Grateful Dead just a few minutes ago, and those Deadheads that used to follow them around on tour. That's the kind of thing that we have here. My name is Hal, and the people who are with us on a regular basis, we like to call them the Hal Raisers. And that's who they are. And they follow us all around and keep things straight and narrow on all of our live stream broadcasts, like we'll do tomorrow on Twitch/X. Morning Frank and Morning Katie. All of you are more than welcome to be with us for as long as you'd like to. We're usually here when we're on live stream, wherever it happens to be. It's usually from about 7 o'clock in the morning Eastern time until about 8 o'clock in the morning. And then on Fridays we go a little longer because we do a thing called the Friday Morning Primal Scream, which is a little after 8:30, and you gotta experience that. If you build up frustrations over the rest of the week, that's the day to get rid of them. Hello from Alaskan Gold Miner. Well, good morning, Ronnie. Alaskan Gold Miner. What part of Alaska? I have lived there. No, I haven't lived there. I felt like I did. I was there for 2 days. 2 days in the late part of January one year in Fairbanks, Alaska. So it felt like I lived in there for a while. Heather! Good morning, Heather. I know you're in Virginia, up by the mountains. Good morning. How you been? Getting ready for, well, let's see. First of all, Punchkis today. You're from Michigan, so you know that those things exist, and they're very popular. And then tomorrow it is not only Lent, but Valentine's Day, double dose of celebration. Woke up to so much snow. See, this is what we're looking at. Northern Virginia got a lot of snow, and all across the Northeast is supposed to get a bunch. Primal Scream after the last few days Mel Mel's had. Got to have that Primal Scream. That's Friday. Friday. It's been an adventure, a challenge for Mel Mel. Lots of snow. Anybody else, because I don't know where a lot of you are from. I've seen a lot of names come flashing through here, and I appreciate the heck out of your attendance, whether or not Facebook or TikTok or whoever pushed you over here, or the fact that you just kind of wandered over on your own. If you are in the Northeast, what is your weather situation right now? I will hear all the way from Australia. We're going to hear Mel Mel scream. That's how loud it's going to be. Wow, this must have been a week. This must have been it. Well, that's the whole purpose of the Friday Morning Primal Scream, is to be able to get rid of all of that all at one time on Fridays into the weekend, so that you can enjoy the weekend as best as possible, despite the fact that you might have had hurdles to climb, hurdles to clear, mountains to climb and hurdles to clear over the rest of the week. All right. Here's another thing about the Super Bowl. We were talking about parts of that. Taylor Swift's appearance, the Travis Kelce blow up on the sidelines. Mel likes that. Good morning, Bella Lee. Did any or all of you happen to catch the halftime show with Usher and friends on the halftime show of the Super Bowl? I did not. I was watching the Puppy Bowl. And in that, by the way, Team Rough beat Team Fluff 72-69 on a late field goal with just seconds remaining in the game. It was crazy good. 131 dogs were participating out of 73 shelters around the country on this Puppy Bowl. Puppy Bowl 20. Here now, Johnny Burke and Steph Barber from the studio with the answer to Steph's Fox flashback. Sheila was not impressed by it. Mel had to defend Taylor on TikTok. I bet you had to do a lot of that because there's a lot of trolling her. She's become the thing. But you know what? She's now attended a Super Bowl, which is something the Dallas Cowboys, who are America's team, haven't done since 1996. Taylor Swift's been to one. The Cowboys haven't been to one since 1996. A lot of people are kind of ragging on them for that. Now, the Lions, our team in this area, have never been to the Super Bowl. They're the only team that's been in existence the entire 58 years the Super Bowl has existed. That's never played in it. The only one. They came close this year, and they are one of the favorites to go there next year. But that's of little consequence now, and little consolation to Lions fans. They could have been there this year. If they had beaten the San Francisco 49ers in the league championship game that led up to the Super Bowl, they would have been the ones that were in there against the Chiefs rather than the 49ers. It was the Niners who beat them.
103.9 The Fox. If you're not on our live stream on Facebook, you should be when we do the flashback. So much fun.
Yeah, we do have fun with this.
Oh, my
How
goodness.
can you not like Traffic? How many great band members they had?
Oh, I know, and so many great songs.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to see Steve Winwood open for Tom Petty in 2014. When he launched into Dear Mr. Fantasy Live,
Right.
I thought I'd lose my mind. I think I embarrassed my daughter, which is fine.
That's fine. That's what we're here for.
You know, it was just one of those musical, magical moments that happen once in a while in the
Right.
show. And Steve Winwood is out with the Doobie Brothers. We do have a date at Pine Knob, August 25th. He might just do Mr. Fantasy
Oh, wow.
and Low Spark of High Heeled Boys.
That's another one of my favorites.
Oh, but it's 12 minutes long.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
I know, yeah.
I can go to the bathroom.
Yep, get a drink, get a muffin from next door.
Yeah, run down the street to McDonald's.
Yeah. All right. Now, we played Dear Mr. Fantasy for Sherman this morning, one of our longtime listeners. If you would like an email request, send it to Steph@classicfox.com, and I could be playing your song tomorrow morning. Go ahead and get them in here. And you are playing this morning for a choice of prizes. You can have a gift certificate to enjoy some great food at Mario's Restaurant and Pizzeria, or 2 tickets to the comedy show at the Film Capitol Theater downtown Saturday, February 24th. That is the very last show that Norm Stalls will perform here in Flint.
Yeah, he only has 2 shows after that. They'll be in the Detroit area, and then he is retiring.
Yes, he is.
So there you go. So get in on it now. 810-230-9777.
Morning, Tony.
For this question.
All right, give it some thought. Here's the question. Traffic disbanded for the first time in 1969 when Steve Winwood left to form what supergroup with Eric Clapton and Ginger Baker? All right, come on. This is beyond easy. I bet even Angie, yeah, you know it too, probably.
Yet the first caller hung up, so
No.
they didn't know the answer, but let's see if caller number 2 does it. If they don't, they got some phone lines open here. 810-230-9777. Hello out there.
Blind faith.
Hi, do you have an answer?
They hung up. They didn't have the answer either.
All right, here we go. Good morning, The Fox. Do you have an answer?
Caller.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Blind Faith.
Yes, you are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. I bet you knew that right off the bat, didn't you? It wasn't a Google search for you.
I'll confess it was a search.
Oh!
You could have lied and been so cool
Man, I
sounding.
was willing to give you the
I had the
benefit of
Blind
doubt.
Faith
Who are we talking
8-track.
to this morning?
I need to be honest. Jack from Davison.
Jack from Davison. All right. So you've got a choice between 2 tickets to the Comedy Festival at the Film Capitol Theater on Saturday, February 24th with Norm Stalls, or some great food from Mario's Restaurant and Pizzeria on Fenton Road.
Let's go see Norm.
Oh, perfect. He is hysterical. Have you ever seen him before?
Yes, I have. But it's been quite a while. I'm looking forward to seeing him again.
Yeah, bring some Kleenex for your eyes and get ready for a stomachache because you've laughed too hard.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You hang tight. We're going to get some information off the air. But who just hooked you up with those Comedy Fest tickets?
Hey, that's Steph and 103.9 The Fox.
Cosmic Connection in Goodrich.
I see that Ginger is looking off in the camera there in my monitor and see Ginger is in Fort Lee, New Jersey today where it's snowing. So, yes, Tina's correct. It is snowing to beat the band in New Jersey. Well, it's raining, I guess, she said, and now it's snowing as well. Quickly, talking about anybody in Britain, like Mr. Mel, getting ready for Valentine's Day. There's a car scrapping company in Britain that's offering jilted exes the chance to send former lovers to the junk heap for Valentine's Day. Scrap Car Comparison announced what's called their Scrap Your Ex program. It allows people to have cars named after their exes before being sent to the scrap heap. They are offering a unique form of catharsis for anybody that's recently gone through a breakup. This Scrap Your Ex scheme opened for a limited time. People who want to trash the memories of a past relationship or even nominate a friend's ex that deserves to be junked. Company said anybody seeking to have their ex scrapped for Valentine's Day simply had to put their name into an online form, explain why their particular ex-lover deserved to end up in the dump. Each car that was scrapped during the promotion would have to have a chosen ex's name written on its chassis, and then the person who nominated this ex for scrapping would receive photographic evidence that the car was now just a flat piece of metal. No longer useful, as some thought it was the case before they scrapped it. Mel saw that. Did you? You didn't try to enter. You didn't try to. Well, I guess you probably wouldn't have tried to enter Mr. Mel, even though he's the other side of the world from you. Interesting idea.
Learn more at genhs.org. If you're in crisis, feeling suicidal, or need immediate help, call our 24-hour crisis hotline at 810-257-3740.
Drain blockage or
Heather says that a live watching of the scrapping would sell tickets. What? Yeah, you're right. It would. It would.
Then can use pinpoint hydro pressure with their state-of-the-art sewer jetter to quickly eliminate the blockage. Avoid
Might even,
future
you know,
with our drain
you do it
maintenance
right, it might even
services.
rival the
Just
Super
look
Bowl
at the
viewership.
program.
Yeah, you might not have been here. I was saying earlier, Heather, 123 million people watching the Super Bowl was the most watched U.S. TV program ever.
Gotta get Goya.
Are you living with a drift? How's your sump pump?
Not just most watched football game, most watched football, most watched game, most watched programs of any kind ever. Mel has an ex-husband too. Would you have nominated X for that? Scrapping your ex? Would you have done that one?
Plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical.
Gotta get Goya.
Probably shouldn't ask.
Fox 758 here in the Foxhole. Andrew's in the house. He's going to be talking to us a little bit.
Good morning, everyone.
There's a cool sweater. Yeah, that's so cool.
It's almost warm enough to wear.
Yeah, actually today's not. We're going to get...
Mistake. I didn't look outside.
Yeah, we got used to that warm weather. He's dressing that part right now. But yeah, we're going to get a little bit of winter coming back here. Thursday, we might even see 3 inches of snow.
News time. Years ago, yes, but now. 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Hurley Medical Center. Do you have back pain? People all across Michigan are flocking to neurosurgeon Mark Moisey and his team at the Hurley Spine Center for individual treatment plans and pain relief results. Visit hurleymc.com, your destination. They're honoring the 3 victims of the Michigan State University shootings that happened 1 year ago today with a series of events today in East Lansing. A year ago, a gunman walked into campus, fatally shot Ariel Anderson, Brian Frazier, and Alexandria Verner. Governor Whitmer is ordering U.S. flags statewide lowered to half staff today to recognize the victims. New gun safety laws go into effect here in Michigan today. That includes a law that says that all firearms in homes with minors must be securely stored with a gun lock or in a safe. That comes on the heels of last year's mass shootings at MSU and the Oxford High School shootings at 2K21. Take this into account if you have travel plans out east today, as the winter's biggest snowstorm is on track to hit the heavily populated stretch from New York City to Boston into late today. Forecasters say that storm could bring as much as 10 inches of snow to southern New York and high elevations in Connecticut, as it's bringing school closings in Boston, threatens to disrupt travel all across the region. Red Wings skate tonight in Edmonton. Basketball for Michigan. They're playing at Illinois in the Big Ten tonight. Pistons face the Lakers out in L.A. And down in Lakeland, Florida, Tigers, pitchers, and catchers report to spring training for the start of the formal workouts tomorrow. And to cap this one off, no winners in Powerball last night, so tomorrow the jackpot rolls over to $285 million. Tonight your Mega Millions jackpot will be $425 million. And that's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Some sunshine is promised to us today, at least some, along with the clouds, along with the chance that we may see a few scattered flurries mixed into the morning. Winds out of the northwest, 8 to 13. They'll gust up to about 20 miles an hour at times. Partly cloudy skies tonight with much colder air moving in as we bottom out around 19 or so overnight. Plenty of sunshine in the region tomorrow, about 35, and then Thursday, breezy and wet. Forecast calling for snow showers in the morning, a rain-snow combo that'll transition into all snow by later in the afternoon, and we should top out around 38 on Thursday. Right now it's 25 in Flint. In Saginaw, 30.
WRSR Owasso Flint. It's time for the 8 a.m. Foxhole People Poll. Call Johnny and Steph and tell them what you think.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about today. I was reading a story online about some of the coolest movie props of all time. Andrew, have you been a collector ever? Did you ever collect, like, if you got your chance to get a lightsaber or something, would you get something like that?
Probably not. I'm not a big fan of stuff like that, but I did have a collection of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles growing up.
You did?
I did. And my parents keep asking me, do I want them? And I say, I think they're a good donation.
So the question is today, what do you collect? And I've got an emphasis on movie props because I was thinking about stuff that I'm not a big collector, but it would be kind of cool to get the the whip that Indiana Jones used in his movie, because you'd have the Indiana Jones whip. And then,
Yeah, but what would you do with it?
Hang it on the living room wall.
yeah, don't ask.
I was going to say, in that sick and twisted mind over there.
How about the DeLorean from Back to the Future?
Oh, that'd be cool.
So what would you guys like to own of a movie prop? What movie prop would get you maybe into the collecting business? Like, would it be the briefcase from Pulp Fiction, or could it be Freddy's glove from A Nightmare on Elm Street?
I would be more of a music collector.
Yeah.
Like, I would collect instruments or, like, drumsticks and stuff like that.
Do you have any of that?
I have some concert memorabilia, yeah,
Really?
that I treasure, yes.
Yeah. Anybody's jockstrap or anything like that?
No, but when I met James Hetfield,
Right?
I had found at a garage sale an album, Kill 'Em All.
Right?
It was their first album, but this album was pressed on Megaforce,
Right.
which they only did a very limited run on Megaforce.
Right.
And I had him sign it, and he's like, I don't even have this. Really? Can I have it? And I'm like, well, no, I'd rather, you just signed it, so I think I'll take it back. But now I feel bad. I feel like I should give it to you.
Well, number 10 on the list, I bought for Hal Moss, and he got rid of it.
What was it?
Number 10 on the list is the leg lamp from A Christmas Story. Number 10 on the list, I bought for Hal Moss, and he got rid of it.
What was it?
Number 10 on the list is the leg lamp from A Christmas Story.
What is it about this one particular plug that just seems to, every time I'm on this thing, I get low power by about this point in the morning, and I get the little warning, okay, you're less than 20% on your power. So I guess it's time for us to stop. Before we do, though, I got to give you a chance to smile at Odie the Pomeranian in Missoula, Montana. This is your smile source today. Odie. Okay? So there you go. We usually do that from the 365 Dogs calendar. On this 13th of February, it is Mardi Gras, it is Fat Tuesday, Valentine's Eve, and 35 days away from the start of spring. That'll happen 5 weeks from tonight at 10:06 p.m. Eastern Time. Spring arrives. Still got some winter to go, and here in Michigan, we're certainly going to start to feel it temperature-wise, and out east, you get to feel it visually because, hey, all you have to do is look out your window and you're going to see a bunch of mess, just snow everywhere, it looks like, out east. We're certainly going to have positive vibes in the direction of Jeter, who is Tina's dog and who apparently has some major health issues, and the challenge is to be able to get a hold of a vet that can take care of that quickly because the regular vet is not available. Boy, I hope this works out well for him. I really do. I'd love to, plus, be curious to find out exactly what the issue is that's creating this. So positive vibes from everybody, please, in the direction of Tina and her dog, Jeter. We will, and that's in New Jersey, where there's snow going on also. So thank you very much for your attendance, your attention, and hanging out here with me as long as you were able to get over here, thanks to TikTok pushing you here. Tomorrow, we're going to be sitting on Twitter, X, and again, starting at around 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully, you're able to join us. I think, while we have a second, let me try and throw Rob the weather stud over to you from Boston. Well, no, I was too slow on the draw, so we can't do that. So we're going to just wait and have yourself a great, pleasant, peaceful, productive, hopefully happy later on in the day, Tuesday. And enjoy the Fat Tuesday feast if that's how you celebrate it today. Punchkis or whatever else you decide to fatten up on before Lent tomorrow. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you here in the hellhole again. Okay?